All my life, we grew up in the housing projects. Me, my mom, my brother, and my two smaller sisters. We were mostly raised up on welfare. At 17, I decided to move out on my own, which was not a good idea at the time, but being a stubborn teenager, I thought it was the best idea. I didn't know anything else but living in the housing projects with my mom or living with a friend or just going through so many different struggles. But I always knew that it was something and somewhere that I wanted to be, and it was not in the housing projects, and it was not being on welfare. I just didn't know how to get there or which way I should go, and I didn't have the people in my life to teach me or tell me. After making millions and millions of mistakes, it feels like God placed some beautiful people in my life, different churches, different friends, and with a combination of all of that, I began to just give my life back to God and go to church. And in the beginning, it was very rough. But by this time, I have two sons of my own. So every year I would say, I'm going to get us out of here. I know I'm going to get us out of here. And we're basically sleeping on top of each other because the house is so small. You can't sit at a kitchen table and have dinner because there's no room for a kitchen table. We would come in the front door and you could smell the mold from the cabinets or the bathroom floor because it had got so bad. And I was so stressed out about bills and living in a house where it was not well insulated, so my light bill would be like $400 and my rent was even higher than that, and just trying to balance everything out. When you're at home, home is supposed to be the place where you're the happiest. You're never supposed to go home and want to be somewhere else.
The house in Oakland is like, I'm glad that scenario won't happen again. We lived there for a long time, and I mean, we worked through it because we are a family. The rent lady, she didn't put in as much effort as we did trying to fix like all the small holes that brought in a lot of rodents, or sometimes leaking showers or leaking sewers and all that. It's like we tried our best to work with the little bit we had at the time.
I learned about Habitat from a coworker who's currently a Habitat homeowner. And he asked me, have you ever heard about Habitat? And of course, I'm like, no, what is that? And he went on by telling me his story, his journey, and how Habitat came into his life and blessed his family. Qual brought me my first pre-application. When I took it back to Habitat, and even the lady at the front desk, she just greeted me with a smile, and it was a feeling of hope when I walked into Habitat. So when I got my second application in the mail, I got really nervous, really scared. Like, for me to be looking into owning my own home, I was kind of doubtful, and I wasn't sure if I was good enough. Once I was accepted into the Habitat program, I always say I had to pull up my big girl panties, because if you really want something, you really have to work for it. When we first moved in, we were just giddy just to be here. To actually stick your key in that door and walk in here and it's yours. I mean, I can remember the people that put the light sockets in and the volunteers that came out to help me paint the walls. I mean, every last little crevice in this house means something to me. Every bit of it just brings me joy. Just joy of knowing also that God answers prayers, and there's an organization out there that has your back. Like when you don't think you can, Habitat gives you that boost. You can, girl, we're gonna do this together. My sons, they're 15 and 16 years old. They've never had their own room. Living in a room with your brother who's totally opposite than you can get a little crazy. So to be able to see the joy of them saying, I'm going to my room and I'm going to shut my door, that makes me happy.
I have my own room. I feel like I'm way freer than I used to be. And it's just like, here it feel like we're more as a family. We do a lot more like family time, like even like cousins and aunties come over. It's like everyone is more connected and together here in Habitat House.
Like our kitchen at the other house, it was like this. That was it. That was the whole kitchen. But now you can lay food out on the dining room table, go in the kitchen while people are making their plates, just whipping it up, doing your little thing, and talking to your family while you're at it.
My back has a small balcony area, and right in the middle of a day was when the day's changing and how the sun is coming up. It's my thank you, Jesus moment where I just sit there and I just thank him. I just thank him for all of it.
It's ours. So you can say this is my house and not like we're renting this place for a little while. This is ours. We own this place.
Your first buying a home experience is the best experience because it's a purpose. It's going to help you and your family grow. And through Habitat, he has made a way not only for me to own my own home, but for me to save and be a successful mother, and for me to teach my children that hard work pays off. I have an 11th grader, and we've opened up a savings for his senior year, which is really huge, and prom, both years are coming. I never thought I was going to be able to do that. Be able to go to work, pay your mortgage, pay all of your bills, put food on the table, and still have a little bit left to be able to say, it just makes me so happy. There's some girl out there or some little boy out there that just like me, that thought that welfare and just that poverty was the last step for them. When your grandmother's doing it and your mother's doing it, your aunties are doing it, it's hard for you to see hope in anything else because it's your comfort zone, it's what you're used to. So lately I feel like I need to find a way to give back. I need to find a way to reach out to let them know that you can be educated and you can be successful and you can own your own home. And not only that, you can change the generational curse, as I call it. Don't stop and don't settle for what you're used to. Reach. And I never tell my kids that the sky's the limit because there are footprints on the moon. So you have to reach and you have to keep going. You can't just give up.